prospecting for gold in San Bernardino, California. Hey Chris, tell us what we're doing out here.
Hey, so what we're doing is we're gonna be digging down in this creek bed right here, and then we're gonna dig above the creek bed. So we're gonna do 2 different cleanouts today.
We found our spot and set up the Keen 190 dry washer. But who's that guy?
Got my buddy Sean out here today, digging hard. And that's all.
Luca and Finney got working hard, marking the spot where we were gonna dig. This was a brand new spot I've never dug at before, but is close to my own claim, the Narrows. And the materials seemed very similar, which was a good sign, and lots of potential. But just when I was getting excited, things took a turn for the worst. The ground was wet. A gold prospector's worst nightmare when using a dry washer. Wet material clogs up the machine and requires you to rerun the dirt multiple times so the dirt can separate from the gold in the riffles.
So it's a little depressing because the dirt is so wet, it's gonna take a lot to just run a little bit of dirt because we have to rerun it so many times. It's a bit discouraging, but you know what? We're just prospecting anyways. We're gonna see if there's gold here. So if we get a little bit, it'll kind of give us an indication that we should come back and dig here. So at least we have that.
Hey Sean, that's just a rock, but it's a special rock. Back to wet dirt. After dealing with it as long as we could, we decided to initiate Operation Clean Out. Ooh, dusty. Those are the rocks that we dug out while digging. And that's the hole. Since this was the sample hole and the ground was wet, we just stopped when we hit this false bedrock layer. It was time to move spots and dig a new hole. We decided on this spot, the inside curve of the creek. But before we got started, it was snack time. An epic stick fork fights. Wait, stick sword fights. Stick sword fights. We quickly broke ground on our new spot.
So this spot is way better. The material is awesome. A lot of small rocks. This is definitely where the river settled long time ago. You can tell on this curve, if you look up at the mountains around us, you can tell where the river used to run when it was really high up. This great material is actually dry somewhat, so we only have to run it through one more time after the initial run. This is awesome. I'm really excited to see the results from this hole.
While I was digging the new hole with my buddy Sean, my reclamation expert was refilling our hole, along with his brother. Now look at the gravel we pulled out of that hole. A great indicator for gold here. We stopped digging and cleaned out the dry washer. We put the cons from this clean out into the orange Home Depot bucket. That's important to note. Since we prospected 2 holes, we want to make sure we know where the gold came from. We panned out the results from the first hole we dug using the white bucket, and I got the results I expected, consistent with nearby creek beds. It's flour gold, but super easy digging when the ground is dry. Onward to clean out number 2. This was the clean out I was most excited about. Would there be gold? And if there was, would it be chunky or fine? And the gold was chunkier. Super excited. This spot has endless potential and I'll definitely be heading back. If you like finding gold, please like and subscribe to my channel. Chris Undertaking out and heavy pans.
Let's get my first piece of Alaskan gold. I'm Chris Undertaking.
And I'm Luca.
We went online and bought gold pay dirt from the Gold Daughters in Alaska. And this isn't your typical pay dirt. This dirt comes from the troughs in their panning area. So if you pan there this season, thank you for the gold. And what is super awesome, part of the proceeds are donated to the Blood Bank of Alaska. Gold panning for a cause. I also got some cool trinkets that Luca took instantly. That'll leave a mark. Don't worry, he's okay.
Ooh, a note!
The Gold Daughters even took their time to write a handwritten note on the sticker. Now let's get some Alaskan gold. The Gold Daughters do state there's no guarantee of gold. However, I'm feeling pretty lucky. If only I could get into the bag. Ooh, a bag inside a bag. We sliced open the bag within a bag. It smells like gold.
The look of it, the taste of it, the smell of it.
It was finally time to pan. And the dirt was, well, really dirty. And my panning partner got a little bored.
Hey, Dad, I'm gonna go play with Jeff and bye!
Bye? I thought we were having fun. Looks like I was panning this gold out solo, which means more gold for me. I started finding big rocks and dirt clods. So I rethought my strategy and decided that classifying was probably a good option before I started panning. And I got a little help from Finney, who came out to help. Once we classified it, I got to panning. And it didn't take very long to find my first piece of gold. My first piece of Alaskan gold. Ooh,
Be here. That's your keeper.
Hey Finney, come look at this gold I'm panning out. Wait, where is he? I continued to pan for gold while Finney played with the water. We were both having fun. And I continued to find Alaskan gold. And Finney continued to play with the hose, going from wet to soaked. Oh my gosh! Wise! Look at this piece. Look at this piece. Look at that.
I love gold.
I kept on finding gold in the pan. It might have gotten a little too excited and started yelling in the garage, which alarmed my wife.
Yeah.
Did you say, oh, why did you?
No, I said there's another one.
Oh,
I found gold, baby. I found gold.
girl.
I said gold.
And I said, girl.
I finished panning and look at those chunkers. But let's clean it up a little bit more. That's more better. I usually don't find enough gold to weigh it, but this time I think I do.
Great success.
0.15 grams of Alaskan gold. Not too shabby. A huge shout out to the Gold Daughters, my two helpers and sons, Luca and Finney, and my wife for that stimulating conversation in the garage. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Chris Undertaking out, and heavy pans. Hey guys, Chris Undertaking out here digging at Placer Pete's for the weekend, and I brought my family. We'll see how this goes. We drove up with the RV for a 2-night, 3-day stay digging on Placer Pete's. Day 1 would be a test run, while day 2 would be our main digging day, while day 3 would just be packing up to leave. And yes, I did bring a drone on this trip to get some really cool footage. But enough talking. Let's jump into dig day 1. I went right back to a spot that I've gotten a lot of gold from. So we set up our gear on the hole of gold. So buckle up real quick for this drone journey. So why is there gold in that exact spot? The simple answer, valleys. Hundreds of years ago, these valleys formed and transformed, depositing gold from geological events. So we found this valley and started to dig, and we've gotten a lot of gold out of this valley. I'm over here hiding because my family keeps asking me, where's the gold? We just got here, guys. We just got here. Okay, so what's the plan for this dig? Operation Hole of Gold will be executed in 2 phases. 2!
Phase 1.
Clear out the dirt between hole A and hole B. If you're confused, it's just this area I have circled right here that we're going to be clearing out. Got it? Moving on.
Phase 2.
Shot back the area after we moved the dirt. Well, that was anticlimactic. Since this was day one and we had just done the long drive and set up the RV camper, we decided we just wanted to test the dirt to ensure that we were on the right spot for the big dig tomorrow. This included setting up the kids with their RC cars and a little game of chase around the hole of gold. It didn't take long for my mom to grab the shovel and start slinging dirt into the dry washer. Her hard work and dedication inspired me and my dad. My dad and I worked in tandem, broing out, father and son, as a team to move a half yard of dirt, which would give us a great indication if we were following the gold pay streak. This is the material we were running through the dry washer, full of gravel sitting on top of a decomposing granite bedrock. The dirt gets fed into the dry washer where the grizzly bars prevent the big rocks from clogging up the riffles. The material is fed down into the riffles of the machine, where air is blown in to separate the gold from the dirt. This is a dry system used in the desert, so instead of using water, we use air to separate the gold from the dirt. And as you can see, the material flows over the riffles just like it would in a water system. Think of it as a dry high banker. Once we got the machine tuned in, we were able to move a lot of dirt very quickly. We processed a half yard of dirt in less than 30 minutes. We were super impressed by our speed. What's great about this spot is how close it is to the RV. It's only a short walk. I scooped the last shovelfuls of dirt and it was time to do our clean out.
Hey guys, we're gonna be doing our first clean out, see if we got some gold so we can continue that way along the pay streak. Let's see what we get. Tap, 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 tap. How much gold are we gonna get, Dad?
I'd say 0.2 grams.
Woo! You heard it, 0.2 grams. We're getting it. Ah, my hands are dirty.
Grams are already coming.
Oh, it's a tiny little guy.
It's the baby. It's the beginning of the motherlode.
Hey, Mom, how do you feel about your first gold?
Awesome, so fun.
For just digging a test hole, we got a lot of gold and even a nice nugget that made a nice little clinking sound when we dropped it in the pan. With day one in the books and we got lots of gold, it was onward to day two. This was the day of digging for Operation the Hole of Gold.
Day two, we're out here.
Hey, good
We
morning.
woke up 6 o'clock in the morning. All the boys are good. We're gonna get our dig on and go do some great things and find them gold. Once we wake up and our bones loosen up and our back doesn't hurt no more. Okay, bye.
We started the day off with hot chocolate and coffee around the fire with some breakfast. It's important when you know you're digging all day to take care of your body. So right after breakfast, I did some morning prospecting stretches. Engaged my brain with the game of ice break, a morning jog,
You can't get my gold if you can't catch me.
followed by some nutritional consumption.
That's delicious. Delicious.
I was ready to get started.
Hey guys, so we're out here on day two of our dig, day two, and it's actually cold enough to wear a sweatshirt, and I'm excited because I get to peel layers as I dig for gold today, because it's nice and cool this morning. So we'll see how much gold we get today. Stay tuned.
We started digging right away to start processing the dirt. We anticipate this would be about 2 yards of dirt to connect the two holes. My son Luca dove in to start digging with us. Wanted to join the fray of men doing manly stuff, slinging dirt with a shovel, getting dirty, moving dirt, getting gold, lots of dust. I have no idea where I'm going with this.
So one thing we always talk about is reclamation. So filling in back in the holes, leaving the dirt where you found it and putting it back. Well, what's nice about this setup is we're already in a hole, so we're gonna dig and it's gonna naturally fill in as we move along this channel. So it makes our lives a lot easier and I don't have to fill in the hole afterwards. So work smarter, not harder.
Everybody went back to the RV to take a mid-morning break, but I just kept digging, which also gave me the perfect opportunity to conduct my gold prospecting wad of the day.
So we're running along this pay streak channel right here, and we're gonna dig out all of this today and meet it with this hole over here. So this whole area we're gonna clear out
and see how much gold we can get from here. And I'm thinking it's going to be quite a bit, so I'm pretty excited. Back from their break, they got right back to it. If you notice, we did put masks on. And it's not for COVID. It's to prevent valley fever, which is caused by spores that are released from the ground when you're digging in it. And it's some nasty stuff, and you can lose some severe lung capacity if you get it. So wear a mask when you're out there digging in the desert. It'll save your life, or at least extend it for a little bit longer. As we cleared dirt, we transitioned to the shop vac to clean up the area. My sons love doing this. If only I could get them to vacuum their own rooms. That would be amazing. At the bottom of this pay-streaked channel was a bedrock layer consisting of decomposing granite with a slight layer of pumice on top. After we vacuumed the dirt, we then ran it separately through the dry washer.
So we're going to catch what we just did from the vacuum into its own separate bucket to see if we see what we're missing when we shovel.
What's nice about when you clean out back to back like this so quickly, this tray doesn't get stuck because there's not as much gravel's getting in between. So this was the fastest clean out I've done in a long time, so super awesome. So look how far we've gotten this morning. So we started there, we've shot vac now. So we only got this little piece right here we're gonna finish up today and clear that out to connect the holes.
See how much dust is being generated when the lid is up from the dry washer? Watch what happens when I shut the lid. Barely any dust. This is why I love this machine so much, the Keen 190 dustless dry washer, because it's dustless.
So I don't know how much further we have to go, but I might as well just take a quick measurement. I say about 3 feet, give or take a foot or two.
It was finally time to break the gap between the two holes. Operation Hole of Gold Phase 1 was almost complete.
Or wait, what do they say? Quench the thirst? Yeah. Gatorade, drink of champions. Quench the thirst.
Initiate.
Phase 2.
Time to shop vac the gold out. So I want you to look at something very interesting here. When I'm rubbing the tip of the hose of the shop vac, it's breaking up pieces of the decomposing granite. If I'm able to do that so easily with a shop vac hose that's made of plastic, that means gold can get in there pretty easily. Hence why we're vacuuming it out. And you'll see later why we do this, because when we do the clean out separately from digging and shop vacuuming, you'll see how much gold we miss because the shovel's unable to get into these crevices.
So we got our white bucket versus our orange bucket. One's a shop vac clean out, the other is just straight out of the machine digging. So we're gonna see how much gold we get in each clean out. Stay tuned.
It was time to clean up the area and get to panning.
We have a whole path!
Without knowing how much gold we have, I can honestly say that Operation Hole of Gold was a huge success.
So we're out here and we're gonna do our cleanups now from today's dig with my dad, doing some gold things. What'd you find, Finny?
Yes.
You found a Lego out in the desert? That's random. And we're walking somewhere. Only he knows.
I'm digging dirt for gold and he's just finding Legos. Slightly jealous.
Bye, Finny. Bye-bye.
So we started with the white bucket, and remember, this is a bucket that we just did straight digging into. This wasn't the shop vac bucket. And look how much gold we got. Oh my goodness. For 2 yards of dirt, and this isn't even the shop vac results, I'm pretty excited. We used the pipette to transfer the gold into a vial. Once the gold started showing, we had a visitor try to see it. This is one of the cool things about being out in the high desert. You get to see creatures that you normally wouldn't. And this tarantula is so freaking awesome. They're docile, they don't attack you, and they're very peaceful. Back to the gold. Now it was time to clean out our shop vac results. Let's see how much gold we would have missed had we not shop vaced and only relied on the shovel. And look at that! And don't worry, there's a little bit more. We accidentally left some of the dirt in one of the orange buckets. So we have 2 pan cleanouts from the shop vac. Is it worth it to whip out the shop vac and vacuum the dirt? I would say so. I had an incredible time digging for gold with my parents and sons. And my wife had a fantastic staycation at home away from the kids. She definitely deserves it.
They're after me gold.
Besides giving the location of my hole of gold to my parents, my kids had a fantastic time. They played in dirt, shoveled in dirt, played on their pads. We even watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and Santa Claus. I mean, this trip was amazing and a great time. Definitely lots of memories. Not to mention, we got lots and lots of gold. That's just the cherry on top. If you enjoyed finding gold with me, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more of my gold adventures. Chris Undertaking out, and Heavy Pans. You need to see this. We planned a 5-day gold prospecting trip in the deserts of California. We had planned to prospect 160 acres for gold. However, all we got was disaster after disaster right from the beginning.
Quality Chinese parts.
What are you fixing, Phil?
Broken leaf spring.
This is the second one.
Second one, yeah, it's the second one.
We set up our home base at Placer Pete's and would use it as a launch point to prospect the area. While Steve and Phil stayed back to fix the RV, Luca and I jumped on the quad to mark spots that we wanted to dig at to prospect for gold.
This is the next spot.
As you can tell, it was super windy and cold out there.
Number 3. Number 4.
Hey, while we were driving around, I found this really awesome spot. Check it out.
Look at all these interesting rocks and colors. It makes me wonder, how did they get here? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments.
And lastly, number 5.
After marking all of our prospecting spots, we checked out some of the cool material we had found.
I don't know where it came from, but you can see how many times it folded over onto itself, so it was compressed and folded.
We concluded the day by fixing the RV and mapping out a plan of where we wanted to dig the next few days. A plan is nice and all, but since this is the Trip of Disaster Chris Undertaking edition, these next few days turned out very, very interesting. It's a brisk 32 today. Feels really nice. Really nice.
Mr. Coffee.
Hey, so today the plan is for day 2 is to test dig 10 sites. We originally were only going to do like 6 or 8, but we found so many cool spots. We're like, we need to up this, and now we're going to do 10. So that's what we're going to be doing. Luca's going to be running the quad, moving dirt in between our processing plant and where we're digging. So the plan goes like this. We dig a quarter or a half yard sample from one of our dig sites, classifying it as we go, then transferring that dirt to our home base where we will process it with a water system. Doesn't that sound like the most amazing plan ever? That nothing could go wrong. Nothing at all. Except everything went wrong. Now you might be wondering, why did we go with our wet system instead of the dry washer? Great question. It's because it had just rained and the ground was super wet, and the dry washer does not like wet dirt. However, we learned really quickly that processing wet desert dirt is very messy and uses a lot of water quickly. So that was one fail. But we adapted and moved on. But when the wagon broke, that kind of was the icing on the cake. It was unfixable. The weld had completely broken, so we knew we needed to come up with a new game plan. So we adapted slightly.
Okay, well, this is what it takes when your wagon breaks.
Try to get these back to base camp.
We loaded the ATV with the buckets of pay dirt and prayed to the gold gods that we did not dump them. The goal was to drive them all the way back to base camp, but due to my height disorder and inflexibility, I decided that we should just go to the truck, unload them there, and drive them back to base camp.
I'm not flexible enough to get off of this thing.
Here's where some yoga would come into play.
It's all people problems. Okay, hold on tight, Luca. Don't let the buckets of gold fall.
So 2 things I was unable to catch on camera. It was the same thing, but we did it twice. We dumped the buckets off the ATV, which made this process a lot longer, and we were out there digging at that one spot for close to 4 hours. Our goal of digging 10 different spots was diminishing rather quickly.
I'm not digging. Pretending like I'm filming, that way I don't have to dig. I wonder if they'll notice.
It also took a lot longer because we got distracted trying to break apart rocks. But we're men, we're simple, and we get distracted easily. At home base, Phil processed our dirt through a recirculating sluice. It was time to see if we got gold at one of our prospecting dig sites. And the results were bad. Really bad. We barely got any gold, definitely not worth the effort or time we had spent there. This hole was a bust. But like a Disney movie full of tragedy, this trip will have a happy ending. For day 3, we worked a spot that was far, far away that had some very interesting clay layers. And a clay snowman even helped us. I switched to processing with the dry washer because I found it much more efficient and effective. We ran a quarter yard, cleaned out the machine, and took the results back to home base.
Keep our gear safe, clay snowman.
Panned out the concentrates hoping for a lot of gold. And it was just as bad. No gold. Well, a little tiny fleck. But we didn't let it get us down. We split into 2 teams and Luke and I headed out to a spot we wanted to prospect. It was time to get serious about finding gold. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future gold finding adventures. We picked up the pace because we knew our time was running out. Tomorrow would be our last full day of digging before we headed out. On this side, we have a pumice layer. On this side, we have a clay layer. And right in the middle, there's a cliff where they both intersect, but then drop off. So we're going to see if the gold is sitting in this channel. We dug a half-yard sample, cleaned up our results, and headed back to pan it out. Pretty sure. And we got gold fly poop. Bad result. But help was on the way. Kevin joined us. He finally arrived. It was Kevin, the chocolate man. We found a random spot to dig and just decided to dig. We set up side by side, moving dirt, digging for gold. We both made holes and Luca fell asleep in one. That's awkward. And it looks like we found where someone had buried a mistake. And this wasn't at Lake Mead, so... But we dug, we cleaned out our dirt, and we took it back to pan it. As much as I want to cheer on Kevin for a great pan, he's an Eagles fan and he's wearing an Eagles shirt, so it's a little difficult right now. So I'm trying to suppress and have a lot of love and respect for him as he tries to find gold. Suppress the rage.
We give you Cowboys.
At least you guys lost a game this week, so that's good.
This week? You mean this season?
But it didn't matter because we didn't find much gold. This is why this trip has been a disaster. We have been digging for 3 days finding no gold at places that there should have been gold. And most gold prospectors won't tell you how bad they did. But we like to be transparent. We gathered around the fire and came up with a game plan. We were going to reverse our strategy. Instead of digging where there were signs of gold, we're going to do the opposite. Dig where we think there probably isn't gold and see what happens. This is when things got really exciting and interesting. We found a wash with protruding bedrock. We dug a sample to pan it out and see what kind of gold we might get in this area. So I prospected this spot with Luca and Kevin, and I finally got some gold. So I'm pretty excited. So, not bad. We landed on a spot with very coarse and heavy gold, which could indicate there is a source nearby. So we went into full dig mode, and every clean out we were getting coarse gold. We had hit the mother lode. A piece right there and a piece right there. Nice and big right there. You think we found the spot, Kevin?
I think we found it.
And every cleanout produced gold. With a trip full of disasters and no gold, we ended up on the last day of the week getting gold. It was amazing. The lesson I took away from this trip was perseverance and staying positive. I mean, heck, it's called gold prospecting for a reason. I hope you enjoyed this video and please subscribe. Chris Undertaking out, and heavy pans. Hey, I'm with Finney out here. This is Chris Undertaking. We're gonna see if we can get gold in the Dale District. Virginia Dale District. We're gonna see if we can get gold, right, Finney? Good. Let's go get some gold. But first I had to figure out where are we gonna dig for gold at. So I whipped out my drone so I could get a good perspective of the area we were in. I found a general area that I wanted to prospect at. Pulled out my metal detector to see if we could get any hits, but really we only found some bullet casings. So look at the area. I'm walking around trying to see where I want to dig. And it's all very interesting. A lot of rock piles. There's a random one right over there. I think it might be an old tailings pile. I don't know. Hey, Finny, where are we digging? You want to dig right there? Yeah. Okay. But we were only there for moments because he got distracted with this tailings pile. And he went on the prowl for a new spot. On this trip, I was relying on his expertise. He was going to tell us where we were going to dig and where we were going to find gold. I might be biased, but he's also pretty adorable, so I couldn't say no to where he wanted to dig. We worked together, father and son, digging in the dirt, feeding it into the Keen 190 dustless dry washer. After digging down a foot, we ended up hitting a pumice layer. At that point, I decided we were going to do two cleanouts. One would be the dirt from the top layer, the second would be the pumice layer plus what's underneath it. I pulled out my favorite gold prospecting tool, and also the most fun, the shop vac, for maximum dirt recovery, and hopefully some gold in it. We cleaned out our hole real nice like, ran the dirt, and it was time for our first clean out.
Run it out.
We would use the white bucket for the first clean out. Afterwards, we took a much needed break, laughed about life a little bit, took a walk around the desert, and even found a tarantula nest. Conducted some shadow fighting before getting our second wind and tackling the pumice layer and digging underneath it. It was about a foot of pumice we had to bust through to get to the layer underneath it. And Finny did his best to help me break apart the pumice so we could run it through the dry washer. We finished the crushing, it was time to run it through.
Man, I'm getting tired right now. Whew. What are you doing, Finny?
Digging.
We processed the pumice so we could get underneath. I was excited to see what kind of material we would see under that pumice layer, and it was very interesting. It was a small gravel layer, but when it was processed through the dry washer, it came out very clean. I made the mistake of not digging the hole that wide, which made it super difficult to get the dirt out as we were going deeper and deeper. So I'm demonstrating how to properly shovel so you throw your back out.
Just catching my breath on the Keen 190. Makes a good rest area. Whew.
And this rock reminds me of sherbet ice cream. All right, Finny, you ready to go in? Okay, here, hold my hand. There you go, slide in. All right, Finny, expect that hole clean when I come back. We vacuumed out the hole, and it looked like we had hit a layer of caliche that was underneath the pumice. So let's break this down. A foot of overburden, a foot or two of pumice, a gravel layer that was full of black sand, and the gravel got bigger as it went down and ends at a caliche layer. This is a gravel that was being filtered out by the grizzly bars in the dry washer. I put the concentrates in the Home Depot bucket. I moved my equipment out of the way so I could metal detect my tailings and the material rejected by my grizzly bars, but no gold. While we were cleaning up, Finny might have accidentally dumped his toys into the hole, which will require a rescue mission to occur. And if you were wondering, yes, I did refill my hole for two reasons. Of course, the most important one is reclamation. The second is if I find a ton of gold, I don't want people to know where I dug at. We took the concentrates to pan out at home, and remember we have two buckets for two different cleanouts. The white bucket was the top layer, the Home Depot bucket was the lower layer that included the pumice. And the top layer was a bust, only 2 pieces of gold, and this can be common with the pumice flow. Now it's time to pan out the layer of pumice and the gravel that was underneath it. I had higher expectations for this cleanout, and it produced 2 nice sized pieces of gold. I plan to do some more research and definitely head back there to prospect for more gold. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Finny and Chris Undertaking out, and heavy pans. Hey, Chris Undertaking with Kevin and Luca. We're digging high up in the hills of the Dale District, getting that gold.
We are gonna find a lot of gold!
So what Kevin doesn't want to do is introduce himself, but this is Kevin, the chocolate man, and he's my digging partner for today. I'll be here at 29 bombs. we're gonna see what gold we can get on a new spot we've never dug before. Let's see what we got!
Kevin set up his gear on the inside of a wash. He was planning to run the material that was going down and along that wall, while I dug an intersection of 3 washes. But I'll let Luca explain.
This is our area, and that's Kevin's area, and we're gonna dig here, he's gonna dig there, and then we're gonna test the results up at the truck.
Kevin, what you doing out here?
Digging for gold.
Luca, what are you doing?
Eating applesauce.
And I know what you're thinking. Is that Bigfoot? Sadly, no. It's just Kevin. And Luca was amazing. He jumped between the 2 prospecting operations to help us process our dirt. And the time had come for our first clean out. Since this was our first time at this spot, we were just trying to determine if the gold was near the top or down deep.
All right, we're doing our first cleanouts. We're gonna see what we get. Cowboys versus Eagles. Here we go. Kevin, you get gold?
Know what that is.
It definitely looks like gold. So Kevin found 1 little speck, and I found 2 nice pieces myself.
We found gold at both spots. Now we're gonna dig deeper and bigger to try to find more gold.
So dig deeper we did. Was that a haiku? In my hole, I started finding some big rocks. So I was hoping for some big gold. The score was 2-1. I was up on Kevin by 1 gold piece. The Cowboys were winning. Hey Kevin, look what hat I'm wearing. Do you like my hat?
You guys taking an L today?
That's mean. I don't like that. Kevin continued to work his area trying to find that gold so he could catch up to me. His spot in the material he was digging was making me nervous because it looked like a great spot for gold. I took a halftime break, sat in my hole, and just grabbed some rocks and threw them away. But soon realized I needed to put some effort into this and had to grab some big rocks and throw them out of my hole so I could see if there was big gold underneath. I dug deep enough that I could bury a mistake in there if I needed to. I was hoping for big gold from this hole. We did a clean out and we were hoping for gold. We met up at the truck to pan out our results to see what the score would be.
Hey Kevin, you get any gold?
No.
No gold? Well, as an Eagles fan,
Eagles
maybe.
are winning.
Oh, Eagles are winning, whatever. Maybe you should put in Nick Foles. Maybe he'll get you some gold.
At least get me a ring.
That's true.
Kevin got skunked, which is usual for an Eagles fan. This was my chance to take a huge lead in this competition. However, I didn't do much better at all.
Really hard to see. There's a tiny piece of gold right there. For all that shoveling, that's all I got.
I was now up 3-1, but we were both tired of digging and we decided to start metal detecting and exploring.
What did we find, Luca?
Found these 3 rocks that it was attracting.
So it was pinging on these 3 rocks. And these look very similar to gold-bearing ore that I've gotten in the past. So we're going to take them home and we'll crush them up, right, Luca?
Yep.
So we found an area that exposed bedrock everywhere, and obviously someone had been there in the past, chipping away and taking samples. So we decided to do the same. We took samples from multiple areas that were pinging on our metal detector. The material was dense and was full of copper and iron, which was a good sign that there might be gold. So we definitely had to take it home to crush it.
My hand hit the rock.
Okay, we got a minor injury.
No.
That's a mining joke.
We collected a bunch of samples, big and small. We were getting signals and hits everywhere along this canyon with this exposed bedrock.
So something about this rock is pinging the crap out of this. Kevin, guess who's my second favorite team in the NFL?
Whoever's beating the Cowboys.
No, whoever's playing the Eagles. I ended up winning the gold digging competition that Kevin didn't even know was a gold digging competition, but that's okay. I'll take a win. After collecting the rock samples, we called it quits because we wanted to get home and watch the second half of the NFL games.
Street the stadium's on. So the hockey team was the Broad Street Bullies because they'd fight everybody. They were the bullies.
Eagles fans, they're so proud of little things like that. Hi. They're gonna lose. I think they're actually winning and they're gonna beat the Titans, but it's cool. Whatever. We just want to make sure you're in the playoffs so we can beat you. Right, Cowboys fans.
11-1, I think we're there.
Even though we didn't find a lot of gold in the area, we had a lot of fun. And much more prospecting needed to be done there. But what did we do with all those rock samples we took? I took them home where they'll sit in a bucket for the next 6 months. Nope, just joking. I'm hoping to crush them shortly and I'll post a video of the results because I'm really excited to see if there was any gold in that material that was pinging on our metal detectors. If you enjoy finding gold and you love my channel, please subscribe. Thank you again for your support. Chris Undertaking out, and Heavy Pans. Hey, Chris Undertaking here with Finney. We're gonna be processing a bunch of dirt from our previous trips. And I have no idea what he's doing. But we're gonna get some gold, aren't we? Let's do it. We'll be processing this dirt through the gold cube. This is material I have already panned out on our many adventures. However, I'm not that patient when it comes to panning, so I probably missed a bunch of gold. So let's see what I missed. He's a bit of a hard worker. I used the 4-stack gold cube. I replaced one of the mats with the dream mat and the rest are the standard mats. And yes, I didn't classify the material. I was a bit lazy, I'll be honest. We planned to do 2 clean outs because some of the material was from Kevin, the chocolate man, and I wanted to see what gold he left for me. With clean out number 1 completed, we set it aside to pan out and was onward to clean out number 2. Woo! Hey Kevin, I'm about to take a bunch of your gold. I'm hoping for more of Kevin's gold, to be honest. Kevin, getting your gold! But we ran into a slight issue. The material had hardened so much the last couple of weeks because of the weather, and also the material we were digging was in a clay layer. So I had to bring out a shovel to try to break apart the material inside the bucket, but even that wasn't working, and this was getting a little awkward. Is this California permafrost? I can't get the dirt? Shovel hand puppet. Toddler hand puppet. So that bucket was a nightmare. It was a straight up nightmare. Are you cold? Yeah. He's so cold. Even after using the shovel, the material was hard as concrete. But after a bit of muscle, we were able to make it work and run it through the gold cube. These are the last ones? Yeah. Perfect. What are you doing? Hey. Hey.
Check it!
Woo! With the last bucket complete, it was time to clean out the gold cube. Transfer the cons into the pan and prepped our panning station to do our 2 cleanouts to see what gold had been lost. And we found a chunker, but that's a weird shape.
Gold nugget.
Gold nugget? Oh, you got some big boogers coming out of there. I need to blow your nose. Woo! Hey, thanks Kevin for the gold. I appreciate it. I'll call it an eagle tax. How about that? Something was funny about that last piece of gold, so I did a magnet test, and it definitely was not gold. Gold is not magnetic and would not be picked up by this. So we continued to pan our pan tailings of gold mist while panning. This all seems a bit confusing. So basically we're panning to pan the pan stuff that we panned, but we lost. So now we're repanning it to see if we can find the gold that we had already panned out, but we might have missed. You got it? Anyways, from clean out number 1, we got gold. And from Kevin's buckets, we got even bigger gold. And that's why I use the gold cube to capture gold, because I miss a bunch. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. With your subscription, I can continue to make gold finding videos that you enjoy. Thank you for watching. Chris Undertaking out, and heavy pans.
Chris Undertaking here. We're digging in 29 Palms again at the Dale District, and I have no idea where we're digging. We just picked a spot, and now we're just gonna dig and find some gold.
I took my dad and my 2 sons, Luca and Finney, out on this gold prospecting adventure. It was a gorgeous morning, and we were actually following a rainbow to the exact spot we wanted to dig. It was so awesome. Recently, I've been prospecting the Dale District area. I did a prospecting trip with my son Finney, went digging with Kevin the Chocolate Man, with each trip producing a little bit of gold. But why the Dale District? Because there is a lot of gold mining history here. The area became very productive in the 1890s with gold mining, with the majority being hard rock mining, but placer mining was just as popular. The area remains active with prospectors finding gold, and I am hopeful I can be one of them, finding what the old timers had left behind. One of the best parts of gold prospecting is the thrill of the hunt, finding where the gold might be hiding, which requires learning the area by exploring it and digging down into the different layers of material. Lastly, learning the geological features that are in the area, so you can find where that gold might be hiding. And that's why I've been digging in various spots, and this one being one of them.
We're gonna dig? Where are we gonna dig at? Right there. And we're gonna use that. What are we digging for? Gold?
We're trying to come out here to do gold, but I'm not certain yet.
We chose this spot to dig because it was in the middle of a wash, a place I hadn't attempted to dig yet. We found a spot where a bunch of heavies had settled and decided to dig there.
Hey, is this gold?
Yeah, it is!
We came across some really awesome gravel layers. However, the dirt down below was wet, which caused some clogging issues in the dry washer. And as you know, wet dirt does not process well in the dry washer.
It's a beautiful day for digging! Woo!
It was time to conduct our first clean out. The ground was wet, but we only dug about a foot down because we wanted to see if there was gold sitting on the surface. Because why dig down deep if you can just find gold right on the top?
A lot of black sand. That's good. A lot of black sand.
All right, here we go.
There. Boom, we got one piece already. Kind of a biggie too. Well, thank you, old timer, for leaving me a piece of gold. We ended up finding only 2 pieces of gold, but it was just the surface. So now it's time to dig deep. And Finney initiated the
Dig deeper mission.
We ended up digging the hole so deep we had to lower somebody in. And Finney volunteered as tribute. Then Luca got into the action. If you like finding gold with me, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any more video uploads. We finished vacuuming out the hole and got as much material as we wanted to see just to test it out. We took a quick break and ate some snacks. I mean, look at the view behind us. It's gorgeous. It's incredible. We processed the shop vac material through the dry washer. It took running it through a few times so we could get the right consistency so the gold could separate from the dirt. Now, I would expect this because we're in a wash, but there's so much black sand in these cleanouts. It's crazy!
Okay, little goldies, right? Oops.
Lid fail.
Still holding? Let me get a little heavier. That's where the gold is, right there.
I panned out the results from the shop vac. I was hoping for bigger gold. The assumption is as you dig deeper, you'll find bigger gold as you get closer to bedrock. But we got completely skunked.
We only found one piece of gold, but that's what happens when you're prospecting.
I was a bit baffled, but not really at the same time since it was in a wash area, especially in the desert where when it does rain, it usually floods. So water moves a lot of material really quickly and gold can get displaced everywhere. But at least I found gold. That's one more spot I was able to plot on my map that I had discovered gold in the Dale District.
You know, when you don't find any gold, it's really about the whole adventure. Well, at least that's what they say.
But I won't be thwarted because I know there's gold in the area. I just personally haven't found that much of it. The history plus the thrill of the hunt in that area keeps me intrigued and I'll keep going back prospecting for gold. Remember to subscribe to my channel and Heavy Pans. Chris Undertaking out. We're on gold, Jaime! We're on gold! Chris Undertaking out here. We brought the Royal High Banker and we're gonna high bank right here in this little creek because there's a tiny bit of water, so we're gonna have to do some things so we can run it and get some gold. And things we did. First we had to dig a hole in the creek so that way we could collect water so we could run the pumps for the high bankers. But there was a lot of big rocks and there was only a small trickle of water, so we were gonna have to dig this deep and big to make sure we have enough water to run the pumps. We would be running 2 high bankers. I was using the Royal Mini High Banker and Jaime had brought in his own machine that he had personally built. It was a sweet rig. Let me speed this up a bit. We had finished our pump pond, but we had one rock that was impeding the trickle that was coming into it. Luca gave it his best shot, and I even tried to throw in a hand to give him a help, but this thing was so suctioning deep, we had to remove some more muck to get it out. We got the rock out, the water was flowing, now it was time to set up our high bankers. The Royal High Banker doesn't take long to set up at all, but since we had such little water running in this creek, I needed the water that was going to circulate through the high banker back into our pump pond. We couldn't let any water go to waste. With the setup complete, we ran one test shovel and we were ready to start running material. My dad started feeding material through that beast to get that gold. My dad and I worked our high banker, and Jaime and Kiki worked theirs. It was a beautiful day for digging for gold. But what about the kiddos? What were they doing?
Hey, Luca, what are you doing?
We're rocking out. We're about to find gold with this thing.
Yeah?
They attack gold.
The kiddos were playing with their RC cars and digging in the dirt. I mean, what boy wouldn't want to do that? We had piled up a bunch of dirt that we wanted to run through our highbankers. A method I used to make the dirt run through the highbanker mold better was taking a shovel full of the material and dipping into the water, getting it nice and wet, and then throwing it into the highbanker. It would process through the highbanker a lot quicker and more efficiently, where I didn't have to work the grizzly bars. So I'm already loving this because you can dig directly into it and it picks up all the rocks and washes them without smashing anything, which is awesome. Gold! It was time to see if we were on the gold. It was time for our first clean out. First clean out complete. Let's see what we get. Oh, there we go. There's gold right there.
There we go.
Yeah. We're on gold, Jaime!
Yeah?
We're on gold!
All right.
Look at that, see?
Oh, nice.
Boom, boom, boom. Whole bunch of them already. We didn't finish panning because we just wanted to make sure we were on the gold. We put all of our concentrates into a bucket and we were going to take it home and run it through the gold cube because there's so much black sand in this area and I didn't want to spend the time or effort to pan it out on site. I just wanted to focus on running as much material through the highbanker as possible before we had to leave for the day. And we had a little help from Luna, our mascot and emotional support animal, giving us the motivation we need to keep digging. So me and my dad are starting run 2. It was time for clean out number 2, and Luca had the honors of doing it. Vinny, what are we doing out here?
Digging.
Digging for what, though?
Yeah.
Over there for what? For gold?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing?
Pooping.
You're pooping? Yeah, right there. Whole bunch of pieces. Boom, 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 boom. I was gonna say, we're getting gold. I mean, how much? I don't know, but...
Well, there's a lot more. This is a lot of sand left.
That's what I say. I'm just gonna dump it again in the tank.
That's what I say.
Because I don't wanna mess with it. So we got more gold, which is good. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would hate for you to miss any of the gold that we find. Okay, so we're out here and we're getting gold every time we pan. We're not panning out here. We're gonna take it home and run through the gold cube because there's so much black sand that we don't wanna have to sift through it. So it's very exciting. Let's see what Jaime got. He did a quick test pan of some of the material he had run through his high banker to see if he was on the gold as well. Bam, sis. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. And he got some nice color in his pan. Hey, so we're calling it good today. We got a lot of gold, we think. We're gonna pan it out at home and see what we got, but this high banking thing, pretty freaking awesome. It's now time for some McDonald's to head back and we're gonna pan out our results and see what we got. We took our concentrates home and ran it through the gold cube. This is one of the better tools that I have found that separates black sand from gold really well. We cleaned out the gold cube to see what gold we got. We just gotta finish running it through the gold cube. Now we're gonna pan it out and see if we got gold. I pulled out all the gold from the big pan and put it in a small pan so I could separate the black sand. This is where I pull out the magnet and I use it to separate the black sand from the gold. Now the moment you've been all waiting for. And we got quite a bit of gold. These videos and pictures don't do it justice because there's a lot of microfines in there as well. But we hit it big. Here's a better shot of the microfines. And that's a wrap. We had a fantastic time gold prospecting. We got a lot of gold. And it was our first time using a high banker. And I would call that great success. I'd be grateful if you liked the video and you followed me for more. I love that high banker. It's a little too exciting. I'm gonna have to bring down a little bit my energy when I get home. Thank you again for watching. Chris Undertaking out in heavy pans. Oh, and there's a big piece of gold right there. Where? Right there. Holy Toledo, I can actually see it. Yeah. I can see it. That was a good piece right there. Look at that. Chris Undertaking out here. I'm digging in the Dale District, but at a very secret location. So I can't tell you or really show you the area because someone told me there's good gold here, and I'm not gonna give it away. This would be a perilous journey high into the mountains of the Dale District. This area was new to me, and the mountains were high and the roads were treacherous, washed out at every corner. But luckily I had a 4x4 truck, so I made it look easy. When all hope was lost and I thought we were lost, we found signs of the old timers. Would we find the gold that they left behind? So I'm digging with Daddy-O today, my father-in-law. Let's get some gold, Daddy-O. We're ready. The boys were excited to show their grandpa how to find gold, especially Finney. Did you bust that rock?
Yeah, busted it open. Maybe there's some gold in there that we can find.
All right, let's crush it up.
Yeah!
We found the spot that we wanted to dig at and got busy setting up our gear. The boys got busy sampling the dirt and the material around our spot, ensuring there was gold nearby.
Out here in the Pinto Hills this morning, we're going to dig for some gold. This is Grandpa Tim's first experience out here, and I'm really excited.
You excited too, Finny?
Yeah.
We picked a spot right in the wash where decomposing granite had gone into bedrock. The decomposing granite stuck out like a finger, so our plan was to dig all around it as well as through the granite to see what kind of gold we would get. But as we dug deeper, we found out the material was a little bit wetter than we anticipated, which slows down our ability to process a lot of dirt quickly through the dry washer because the dry washer doesn't like wet material and requires a lot more shake and bake through the dry washer to get the material to flow through. But the mining boss wasn't worried. He said, grab a snack and relax, we'll get the gold. As you can see here, the wet material will clog when it enters the riffle system. So we're rerunning the dirt multiple times to ensure it dries properly, so that way the gold can separate itself from the dirt.
We're doing the first clean out! The first one! The first one!
I started the first clean out, while the mining boss provided distant oversight.
Do the syrup chocolate bucket, corn syrup, white bucket. Comes recommended.
Ooh, look at that. Nice black sand.
Let's eat a taco here, Finny. You ready? Eat it. It's pay dirt.
The mining boss inspected our work.
Is there going to be gold in it? Perfect. And here's Finny with a gold miner's Christmas tree.
You got a Christmas tree, Finny?
Yeah.
Decorated with gold.
We set up a test panning station on the back of my truck. Even though I was told there's gold everywhere out here, I wanted to make sure that we were digging on the right spot.
All right, Daddy-O. First clean out. Are you excited for the gold?
Not sure about it yet.
A lot of work.
I'm thinking 3 grams.
Ooh, that'd be good.
It would be good.
I'll take that. How much gold are we gonna find, Luca?
8 pounds.
Wow. Okay. We'd be rich then. We wouldn't be gold mining. How much, Vinny?
1.
1 ounce?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and there's a big piece of gold right there.
Where?
Right there.
Holy Toledo, I can actually see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
That is a good piece right there. Look at that.
It is.
Wow. Wow. See if I can pull this out for the camera.
Holy cow!
Okay, here we go. Look at this little piece. Okay, look at that. I can pull it out with my finger. The picker. All right, look at that picker right there. There we go. Right in the top of the pan. Loving it. Loving it. Tim, there's another piece right there.
Get out of town.
Look at that.
I gotta say Eureka on that one.
Right?
Eureka.
Holy cow.
Eureka.
And we were on the gold. We were super excited. We were getting picker-sized gold from that spot. It was safe to say we should continue to dig there.
So we had an awesome first clean out, so we're gonna start digging into this granite right here that Daddy-O's at right now. Because that's where we think the big chunker came out of. So we're gonna keep digging through that, and we're gonna go about 6 inches in to see what we get. It is a little bit moist, so it does run a little bit odd in the dry washer. So you might be wondering, why don't we bring the hammer drill? Why are we pickaxing? Well, I brought the generator, But I didn't bring the hammer drill. Ah! The boss wasn't happy either. Exactly.
Why did my dad forget the hammer drill? I mean, like, it's hard. Like, great, this is gonna be hard with the pickaxe. Well, what are you laughing about? How are we gonna get down, Vinny? Why are you laughing about it?
Since digging into the decomposing granite with a pickaxe was going to be difficult work, we enlisted the help of both mining bosses. They assisted us by rerunning the dirt we had run earlier, just to make sure that it was dry enough that the gold could separate, especially after we got those nice big pickers. We didn't want to miss any of them. So this is the hole that we were working. The decomposing granite made a finger right on top of the bedrock. So we dug all around the finger and into the granite. Vinny, what are you doing?
I'm Bobo.
You're pooping?
I'm Bobo.
I'm bro.
Yeah!
We continued to work all around that finger of decomposing granite and into it, hoping to find the big gold. Clean out number 2 is going in the Home Depot bucket. Home Depot, I am available for sponsorship. Thank you. You might be wondering, why do I use a paintbrush? I have found it to be the safest method to remove the riffle box from the machine without breaking anything. Also, I can dust up any particles of dirt that might have gold in it that might have snuck in between the riffle box and the mat.
I got half the that.
Wow! You're so fast!
So we're doing clean out number 2. We dug a lot. We're getting tired. It's getting hot out here. So we're gonna clean up some stuff. I think we're gonna metal detect a little bit, just explore the area, check out some old tailing piles. But for dry washing, we're done. We're gonna see what we get in this last clean out. Hey Finny, did you poop? Again?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, are you pooping gold?
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. Now I can stop digging for it. Look at that. Oh, sweet! Wow. Right here. Right here.
Holy, that's like a nugget.
Look at that.
Holy tornado.
Shine. Look at him shine.
Holy Toledo.
Holy Toledo. And again, a nice little picker. Some more gold in there, Finny? Oh my gosh, look at that.
That's a true picker.
Oh! Holy
Toledo! Wow.
What?
We found big gold and it didn't stop.
Go buy a McDonald's.
Oh! Let me see this!
You see one? Right there. Oh, no.
There's a couple. There's
right there,
man. There's one right next to it.
Yep.
Oh, I see it!
Look at that, another one.
What? That...
Daddy-o. If we were black sand miners, we'd be killing it right now. We'd be rich.
Ouch.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Hey, there's a piece right there. Pull that one out. As we found more gold, we found there was a spy among us. Was it a drone? Was it a bee? Was it a bee drone?
Ow. Stop bee.
Stop bee. Don't worry, that bee's not gonna get you.
No, I don't like it.
Oh, the bee's trying to get our gold nugget?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Are you gonna protect us from it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I'll be your watch out tower.
Here's the gold from clean out number 2. We hit it big once again. After we got our huge payout, we decided to explore the area, collecting rocks and metal detecting. Iron stones that are so heavy. They look way heavier than they are. Here's the arm challenge. How long can you hold it up for? I'm time-lapsing. I swear I'm holding it for hours. We even found some protruding quartz that we're going to take home to crush to see if there was gold inside.
Finney worked hard to chip out some awesome samples of quartz that we're gonna take home to crush. So excited to see if there's gold inside.
Another successful day of gold mining. We got some big chunky rocks. We're really chunky rocks. We got some big gold today. Very excited. Did you guys have fun, boys?
Oh yeah.
What are we gonna get now? McDonald's?
Yes.
You can get some burgers, fries, apple slices.
This, Dad.
Hey, Daddy, did you have fun gold mining today?
It was an interesting adventure, I gotta say.
Right?
It was fun to see the gold.
I was gonna say, it was very successful.
To see the gold.
I know, right? You know?
We mentioned towns like Toledo and Eureka.
Right.
Another successful gold prospecting trip. I want to give a huge shout out to Cody for the location and putting us right on the gold. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any more of my gold finding adventures. We made the long journey home out of the mountains safely.
Hey, boys, what you doing?
Playing on our tablet.
Daddy-o.
Thinking about a beer.
A beer. When I got a bear. A bear. Got a big bear. That's a big rock. Oh, gosh. Mama.
Thank you again for stopping by and watching my content. Chris Undertaking out and Heavy Pans.
All these pieces all right there. Look at all that. Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. We brought the Royal High Banker again. We're gonna see how much gold we can get with it today. And I got Finney, I got my daddy-o, I got Luca, and we got Jude, the Frenchman.
We had a full crew digging for gold. We had my son Finney,
At one time.
my son Luca,
If you're cold, you know there's gold.
my father-in-law
You
Daddy-o,
want to work this hole with the Hui man? The Hui man, it's a good tool.
and my nephew Jude from France. Yes, he's truly French and from France. I know, crazy. He's in America, digging for gold. Then there's me, Chris. Join us on this gold undertaking adventure. It all started with building out our pump pond. We had to get water to the high banker.
Hey Jude, what are you doing?
Begin.
What are you digging a channel of water for us?
Yes.
Nice. Hey Luca, you're gonna show your French cousin how to find gold?
Yeah.
And we got water. We're building out this channel so that way water will flow in and we can pump out and get this high banker running.
But I'll let Finney explain it in detail further.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And we'll get the gold?
Yeah.
Okay.
After our pond was full of water, I spent time setting up the high banker, getting it perfect so it would deliver us tons of gold. The machine was running smooth and was tuned in, ready to capture gold. Finney provided the first test shovel. Wait, Finney, the high banker, not the ground. There we go, Finney. And the material was running through perfectly. I tested our pump channel for consistent flow and we were ready to dig.
We're using the high banker, aka Libby, because of the little legs.
Hey Finney, what are you doing?
Pooping?
Again?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll leave you alone.
I lost one crew member to a long bathroom break, but at least I had the rest. Or so I thought.
What are you doing, Luca?
Trying to make sure I don't throw up because my stomach hurts.
Your stomach hurts. Hey, too much candy.
Probably.
We lost 2 crew members, but we continued to press on. As we started digging deeper, we started running into bigger and bigger problems. Big rocks, that is.
We moved the big rock. We think there's big gold down there. We'll see what we get. Daddy-o's working the mother lode.
You got her, man. You found her. Ah, the gold. She's a dirty mistress. We're doing the first clean out.
Here's pay dirt, baby. She's a beaut, Chris. You can see the joy in the children's faces.
Piece right here. 2 pieces of gold right here. Boom, boom. We'll get them in a second.
I always reset the sluice box, mainly so I don't lose the wing nut that holds it all together. We always test pan our first run to make sure we're on the gold.
It's all right there. Look at all that. Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. Look at all those. Again, we're not going to pan it out here. We saw enough gold. We're going to take it back to the gold cube at home and get it all because we don't want to spend the time with all this black sand.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any gold finding adventures. So we ran back to digging, hoping for bigger gold as we dug deeper. But would we find it? What I did find is myself almost falling into the hole, not once, but twice.
Woo, all right?
Then things got exciting as we hit bigger rocks. We got back to full crew strength. Stomachs felt better and pooping was completed. And that's when we ran into the mother lode of all rocks.
So I want you guys to look at this layer. There's tons of black sand here. We got boom, 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 and all that.
Hi guys. This is my cousin Jude. This is his first time gold mining. Are you having fun? Yes. Okay, he's having fun. And yeah, we're gold mining. We found some little specks and yeah, we're gonna find some gold. Right, Jude? Yes, right.
Just as Luca was filming Finney feeding the high banker with pay dirt, the unthinkable happened. Look at the dirt from the shovel that just went to the high banker. See how it's red?
Hey, yeah, better than black. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, that's what we want. That's gold in there, baby. That's pure gold. Hey, so we found this awesome red clay layer, so we're gonna run it separately, see if there's more gold in it.
So we quickly stopped digging to clean it out so we could separate the red clay layer from the other layers we had been hitting. Clay usually sits right on top of bedrock and gold gets stuck all in it. So I was super excited and pumped because we were gonna get on some major gold.
Dig number 3, red clay layer.
What are we doing, Finney? We're gonna find gold? Where are we gonna dig? We're gonna dig right here.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
We're all gonna get a participation trophy made of gold.
Every shovelful came up with red clay. We were on a hot streak. Just watch the water turn from murky brown to murky red. I followed the clay layer as long as possible before it dried up. But hey, we hit it and we hit it big. But the kids were getting tired and it was time to head out.
This with your thumb out. There we go. Put your thumb out. There you go. You do it like the Germans. Here, put your fingers down. There you go, and go like this. 3.
3.
There we go. Good job. Go clean out number 3.
Dundee.
So I'm looking at the box and there's gold all in it, all around it. Holy cow. We got a bunch. There's gold right there. So Daddy, we got a whole bunch of gold in the riffles. I like her. I like her. All right, so we're heading back. We got all the clean outs. Now we're gonna run through the gold cube and see how much gold we got.
I believe there is gold in them bar hills.
We headed home, got stuck in 3 hours of traffic on the 10, so we decided to run our cons the following day.
Hey, so we decided we're gonna run our stuff today. We got a fire in the background, and we're drinking some brews. I'm drinking out of my face. It's good.
And we got Finney helping us, doing his diaper dance.
Diaper dance.
We decided to do this clean out in 2 phases. We did a total of 3 clean outs. The first 2 was the first top few layers. The third one would be the red clay layer. We wanted that one separate just to see if there was more gold there than where we were digging above it. It was rainy and wet outside. We had fire and beer and we were hoping for a big clean out.
But from now on.
And I had a first piece of gold that got stuck on the slick mat at the top. Started cleaning out the trays from the gold cube, but right away I saw pieces of gold on the first mat.
We got gold!
And a few other pieces. Here's a close-up of that first one.
All right, so clean out number 1 is complete. We combined the 2 buckets. We saw a bunch of gold as you saw. So now, clean out number 2.
I'm waiting for the red results.
Red clay results, here we go! I like drinking out of my face. Beer tastes so much better.
We quickly finished clean out number 2, and right away I noticed gold on the top mat.
We keep on seeing more gold. It's right on the top. This is compacted with gold right here. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces all right in there. All compacted, all inside that riffle. Kind of hard to see, but it's there.
Quickly cleaned out the trays so we could start panning our results from clean out number 1 and number 2.
Gold!
Wow, look at that, huh?
We sat around the fire while we drank beer and I backpanned and pulled out all the gold pieces from the first clean out. And look at those results. Not too shabby, lots of gold.
This is the red clay clean out.
We started to pan out our results from the red clay. This material sits right on top of bedrock. That's why it's so exciting. We had also only spent 20 minutes digging the red clay because that's all we could find. So we wanted to compare results from a 2-hour dig compared to a 20-minute dig if we just find red clay.
Chloe, is this your first cup of wine in how long?
9 months.
9 months since we had Livy, and look how beautiful she is. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. And I'm getting that gold for you, baby. Getting that gold for you.
And gold I got for her. Look at that from the red clay layer. That's from 20 minutes of digging.
I would call this great success. What do you think, Daddy-O?
I think the red clay was rich with gold.
Red clay, rich with gold.
Here's the pan of both cleanouts. We got a lot of gold that day.
Thanks for stopping by and watching. Make sure you like and follow so you don't miss out on any more gold finding adventures. Chris Undertaking out, and heavy pans.